Good morning, everyone. All right, we're going to have some extra people this morning. If you're receiving this, if you received an email from me, that's because in some way we know each other, and I'm really happy to have you on. And of course, we have our Chord Academy and our All Access Academy as well, that has the link to this. I hope that you guys are having a great day, and I hope you had a great Christmas. Very Merry Christmas. And these are more like holiday hours. I'm off, but we are just going to have some fun, do some chords. So we're going to do a 30-minute stream like we normally do at Chord Academy. And we're on week 12 this week, and we've been doing a lot of different training with a lot of different chords. And we're kind of coming to the end of the year, so we're sort of putting it all together. And I'm going to do a chord review thing and go over everything that we've already done. But one of the main focuses we've had is our use of the fourths. So I want to talk about the fourths today, and I also have voicings. I have 3 different voicings, or maybe 4 different voicings that use the fourths. So after we get a couple people in here, and if we have enough people at the end, I'm going to put the link in the chat here in a little while to get you this PDF. Good morning, Vicki. Good to see you. So normally we do our streams at 8 a.m. Today is 9 a.m. It's an open stream, and we'll see who comes in to this one. But what we do every time at our Chord Academy is we're either going through all keys, or most of the time we don't do on our lives. We don't go through all the keys, but I just make sure you're really familiar with the concept and this key, and then I do a lot of standalone trainings to get you into other keys. So in this case right here, the very first chord we're going to do is we're going to get used to this familiar C shape. So a 3-6-9 voicing is a voicing you can use for our trio piano, right? If the bass player, you have a bass player, you don't need to really play the root. But if you're playing solo piano, it's nice to be able to use the C down there, and then you jump up to your chord. But if you have a bass player that's walking lines, all you need to do is 3-6-9, and that gives you a nice, simple, sort of a modern but an easy version of a C chord that you can do. Now, the voicing from the major scale of C, that's the 3rd note of C, the E, the A is the 6 and 9. So 3-6-9 is a very familiar thing. It's also familiar because you have the use of fourths. Fourths, this interval, E up to A is a fourth. E, F, G, A, 4 notes away, and then A up to D is a fourth. Now, just because you learn this one shape and it's for C major, when you go to other chords, you also use fourths as well. So getting familiar with this pattern of fourths in every key is one of the most important things you could learn, especially as a jazz piano player. We don't use it as much in blues, but notice that my hand is over a particular shape, and this shape doesn't change much in my left hand, right? I'm just going up. Okay, so that's the first thing. The next thing is we're going to add, in this example today, I'm going to show you kind of like a shortcut that you can do. And I don't really like chord shortcuts unless, even though I've created a little mini course with chord shortcuts, I don't like for you to know chord shortcuts unless you understand the theory. And I think you guys understand the theory. So we're going to go 3, 6, 9, 5, 7, and 9. Okay, let me do that again. So what you have is 3, 6, 9 of C major, then you have the 5, the 7, and the 9. Now what this is a C major 9 voicing in its most basic sense. Now watch what happens if I do 3, 6, 9, and then I do 5, and I play a G triad. It automatically gives me the voicing. So imagine this, whatever key you're in, you have 3, 6, 9, so C, and I know I'm going to play 5 notes away, C, D, E, F, G, I'm going to play a triad. Now that helps me get there really quickly. Now what I want to do with the rest of the part with this chord is we're going to go up and down, and then we'll maybe go around the cycle of fourths for this one particular voicing. And then after that, what we're going to do is we have a couple other voicings to do. We're going to put the 5th on top, so you have this nice full voicing on top, which is really nice. You have a G triad and you have G triad. You can also invert the G chord. If you really want to get a high voicing that's really nice and full and just kind of in your face, like sometimes you might use this in a jazz big band voicing, like you want a C major and you want to make sure it cuts through the mix. That's a good way to do it right there. So you have G triad, there's the fifth on top, and then if you want to really cut through, there you have the 9 on top and the major 7 there. Yep, the 9 is D, correct. That's right, Vicky. And the reason we can call this a major 9, just so we're clear, is you have the B here, and you have, so that's the 7, and whenever you add notes on top. Okay, so this is a really basic voicing, but a really nice voicing, isn't it? 3, 6, 9, and then you find the 5, the major 7, and the 9. Excuse me. Now, at the end of the lesson today, and everybody needs to hang around because I'm going to put the sheet music in the chat here in a bit. But the next thing is you say, well, let's put this into some kind of context. You have C to A7 to D minor to G13 and then the C. So what you're going to hear is voice leading. Like if I go, I'm thinking da. Now listen to this next thing. I go da. So da, da, da. So that's my sort of melody. Ba, da, da. And you could end back here, or you could end it with the 5th on top. So da. There's my C major 9. Da, da. Okay, that gives, voice leading is sort of the smooth, the way you transition the top notes, in this case, to a nice smooth sound. I'm always looking for voice leading ways to make everything sound nice. Okay, so let's go ahead and go back to this first chord. So you know the format of the next 25 minutes of what we're going to do. So we're going to have a lot of fun making sure we can transpose some of these chords, especially the first one, and into all keys. And then the other one, we're just going to work on how do you build this right here. How do you build this? And why is it important? And I'm going to give you a hint right now. The reason that's important is notice that every one of those voicings has the intervals of the 4th. If this voicing right here has the 4th on the bottom, and you come up here, that has the interval of the 4th on the top. And then when you get to this D minor 11, Fabrizio, what's up? Hey, good to see you. I knew I wanted to put you on the list, Fabrizio. I hope you had a very Merry Christmas. Yeah, this is a good one. You have, isn't that a nice, listen to the root on the bottom. Isn't that so nice? I mean, all the Christmas songs, like all the Christmas gigs and things I had, if I needed a 2-5-1, that's so nice and easy to do. And that's just 2-5-1. And notice that my right hand has the 4th. And then when I go to G13, my right hand still has the 4th. And then if I go again, there's a G triad. That gives me my cheat code, my C major 9. D minor 11, right? Isn't that nice? Fabrizio, I hope you practice some piano over your holidays. Yeah, I had a really amazing Christmas, and I got to play some really fun gigs, and just a really fun time with the family. Awesome, very cool. All right, so you guys see what's happening. Like this lesson, think about the 4ths. Let me go ahead and put this link in here for you guys to make sure that you have this. Let me think of how I can get this to you here, because you guys are not all Chord Academy people, which is fine. 1 second. I'm going to send you a special link here in a second. Okay. Now, normally what we do is we have a link that goes to the weekly folder that we send out. It says restricted, but I'm going to change it to anyone with the link. Copy the link. Okay. Let's see if we can do this here. Awesome. I would love to hear about your kids and what you guys do and what they like to do. That's awesome. I know I'm going to really work on pronouncing your name. You're going to help me with that. I think you promised. Okay. Now, all right, here we go. Let's go back to this very first chord. So notice, so I just put the chord, everybody who's watching, you're click on the Google Drive. While the live is happening, you'll be able to get it. Once the live goes away, I think, at least for a while, this particular PDF will disappear. So I want everybody to have that. And, down the road, if anyone wants to be a part of our Chord Academy, this is the basic entry to what we do. Is 2 times a week you get lessons just like this, and you get a crazy amount of charts and access to all kinds of stuff, and it's less than a coffee a week, and you get all that. I'm telling you, it's the crazy thing. And I will warn you that a lot of people who get in the Chord Academy say, hey, I love the Chord Academy, but I also want to be a part of the other stuff. And they're literally a link that they can transition from the Chord Academy to all access. But I promise you, it's a very easy entryway. There are links in the description for anybody who wants to join us. And I promise you, it's so much fun. All right, so here we go. Let's go back to this PDF, but download that PDF for sure. Okay, so the importance of the fourths. Everybody write 4 in the chat, because I want you to understand, like, all of these voicings we've been doing the last 12 weeks, so many of them contain fourths. And I'm even going to show you sort of a bonus voicing at the end of this lesson that's also fourths. And how amazing it is to get this one shape down right here. All right, so the very first measure, we're doing 3, 6, 9, 5, 7, and 9. Now, what I like to call is sitting on a voicing sometimes. And sitting on a voicing, this is me actually practicing this. And I go 3, 6, 9, 5, 7. And notice that I'm even saying it out loud. Now, I am teaching, but in my mind, I'm thinking 3, 6, 9 of whatever scale I'm in, and 5, 7. Not flat 7, but 7 is major 7, and 9. Sometimes I hear people will say, if they're talking about blues voicings and jazz voicings, where they want it as a dominant, they want this kind of sound, or they want this kind of sound, and they'll call that the 7. No, I call that the major 7 if you're on as a part of the key. And if it's a flat 7, then you flat the 7. Okay, just a little fun little tip there. But 3, 6, 9, 5, 7, 9. Now, my chord shortcut is my G triad. So whatever key I'm in, C, I go 3, 6, 9, and then I know I'm going to go the 5th of C. So C, D, E, F, G, and build a triad. That's my cheat code for the first measure, but I do understand the theory. So you're going to send me a vocal. Now that would be good. That would be very helpful if you did that. And then I'll always get it right. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to put this in the chat because these are ways that I like to practice. I would actually write this down, 3, 6, 9, and then I'll go 5, 7, 9. And now, usually I put a comma in between those 3, 6, 9, 5, 7, 9. So notice something I did here. I say, all right. If I put a comma, I'm basically separating left hand and right hand, and I've done all kinds of worksheets for you guys that show you every key and every formula. But even with all of those, I like for you to write these out yourselves. So make sure you write it out. So you're like 3, 6, 9, 5, 7, 9. So let's go up a half step. Now we're in D flat. 3, 6, 9, 5. Okay, there's my A flat. So D flat major, I've also written out for you guys all the key signatures. So you're able to say going up and down, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, C, B, A, G, F, E, D, C. You guys know the way I like to teach that. And that's an important thing. That's why not only have I written that out, I want you to be able to say it going up as well as going back. Any particular key, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, C, B, A, G, F, E, D, C. So I want you to be able to know your notes going down as well. What's up, T-Man? That's my dad. He's a proud member of Chord Academy as well as the iMusic Academy. So good to see you, Dad. All right, so the next thing is 3, 6, 9. Let's go up to D flat. Now, I want you guys to listen, even in this most basic example using fourth. What's up, Jose? Jose's a member of the Chord Academy. 3, 6, 9, 5, 7, 9. Now, notice how nice, Jose, how nice. Isn't that such a beautiful, simple voice? C major. Now, on purpose, what I'm doing right now is we said sitting on a voicing, and what does that mean? And what does it mean to do the up-down approach? It's really nice to be able to say 3, 6, 9, 5, 7. So you get the chord, and I know it's a C 3, 6, 9 with a 5, going 5 notes away. And then I'll go up a half step. This is my up-down approach. We go from a familiar key, up a half step, back down, and back down again. So now I went back to a comfort key, now I'm going down to B, 3, 6, 9 of B. And what's the fifth note of B scale? You go, oh, it's F sharp, okay? So, and it's the fifth of the triad as well. And there it is right there. Yeah, and so one of the things we do at our Chord Academy as well as iMusic Academy is everybody says hello to each other, and I'm telling you, it's an amazing group of people that connect with each other. And sometimes, well, a lot of the time, I'm not even on the chat, and I'll come into the chat when it's time for our lesson, and they're already talking to each other, and at the end of the lesson, we tell each other goodbye. So, and everybody kind of gets to know each other, so it's really, really, really awesome. Okay, so the next thing, let's go back and do this up-down approach again. This applies to everything that we do, all these voicings. Like, I'm teaching you ways that I like to practice and I think are very, very helpful. It's not to show you, oh, I can do this and I can do that. It's about showing you how you can do this, how you can take a voicing like this and not necessarily be overwhelmed. Like, I want you to sit on a voicing the same way I will sit on a voicing. C major 9. Okay, I know that I have a C with a G, and that's a good little shortcut. I can go up and play that fifth on top, and now I have the C major 9 on top. Okay? Now, if I go up a half step, you see how I'm doing this? And now I'm still thinking 3, 6, 9, 5 of D flat, and there's my A flat triad. Okay, now I'm going to go back down to my comfort key. I've sat on that for a while, and now I'm on C. I'm playing the root sometimes because I want to get how fast can I get up to that 3, 6, 9 again, and now I'm going to go down a half step. Watch this. Now B major. I mean, if we're honest with ourselves and say, and I'm speaking to my younger self, as I would say, you know, I could spend a lot of time here in C and learn these voicings, but how many times did I, and I'm talking way back, of how many times did I practice B? You know, maybe not as much, right? But because we get used to playing in particular keys, especially if you're a jazz person or you play in big bands, which I played in a lot of big bands, and still play in a big band. But do we spend a lot of time in B? No, we don't. But it's important to be able to play in all keys. There's B. 3, 6, 9, 5, 7, 9, 5. Okay? Let's go down one more key. So this is B flat. So 3, 6, 9 of B flat. You have your 5, your 7, your 9, and your 5 again. It's a B flat with a F triad on the top. Yeah, it's really good to see you, Jose. All right, now what we're going to do, guys, is we've done, let's do this one simple voicing right here. We're going to do it in all keys going around the cycle, and then we're going to quickly jump into the last half of this lesson, which is going to be really fantastic, putting the 1, 6, 2, 5 together. Okay, so here's another way to practice. You're going to go C, you're going to go 3, 6, 9, 5, 7, 9. 3, 6, 9, 5, 7, 9. Okay, and you have it written up there. Now, if I go around the cycle, I'm going to go from C up to F, and we're going to do the same voicing. 3, 6, 9, I have to get to that. And what's the 5 of F? C. So there's my 3, 6, 9, and then I have my 5, 7, 9 of F. But let's go ahead and think about it for this lesson. Let's just think, okay, F, there's 3, there's 6, there's 9. What's 5 away from C? And you say C is. There's my triad. Okay? Now if I go to B flat, I'm going to count up 4 notes, F, G, A, B flat. This is going around the cycle, and I go 3, 6, 9, 5. There's a B flat major 9. That sounds really nice. Listen to that. If I go up 4 notes from B flat, now I'm at E flat. I'm going to go 3, 6, 9, 5. There's my B flat triad. That's going to sound really nice. If I'm at E flat and I go up 4 notes, I'm going to be at A flat. So I go 3, 6, 9, 5. That's for A flat. Little low, but it still sounds really nice. If I'm at A flat and I go up 4 notes, now I'm at D flat. I'm going to go 3, 6, 9 of D flat, and I go the 5th note and play an A flat triad. And you can go back and review all of this, everyone. You could go back and watch this with me. But isn't that nice? Like, I love the sound of that. Listen to this. You have C major, and we have 10 people watching. I'm looking for the next person to say hello in the chat to our fun little group here. And I do have a PDF for this for everybody watching up there. You just scroll up a little bit and you just click on the voicing and enjoy these really nice voicings. We're about to get to the really amazing voicings, but I would love for you to say hello in the chat. Okay, so that's D flat. Now we're going to go up to G flat. 3, 6, 9. And then I go up and do a D flat on top. Now we're at B, right? 3, 6, 9, 5 for B. Nice little B there. B major 9. For E major 9, I'm going to go 3, 6, 9, 5, major 7. For A major 9, I'm going to go 3, 6, 9, 5. That's for E. I'm sorry, for A. And now I'm going to go to D, and I go 3, 6, 9, 5, and there's my A chord over the D. And remember that I'm thinking about that simple shortcut of the 3 of D, and I do a 4th voicing, and then I go, there's my A triad. And notice how I play the root every now and then. I want to hear that sound. Now I'm going to go G, and I'm going to go 3, 6, 9, 5, and there's my D on top. So for G, I count up 5 notes, G, A, B, C, D. Okay? All right, now G, and now we're up to C again. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to go around the cycle of this 1, 6, 2, 5. All right, here's the sort of the end part of the lesson. I did tell you that you can do this. You can go C. You could put the C, the G triad with the G on top, or you can do up here at the top, which is this really nice big band type voicing. That's just a G triad. Okay, the next one, this is where it gets fun. You go the first voicing that we know, and then you're going to have this chord right there. So this is 1, 6, 2, 5. Okay? 1, 6, 2, 5. And if you like that sound, put nice in the chat. Let's do it again. So you have... The great thing about 4th voicings, and a lot of different voicings, but one thing about this is so nice is you hardly have to change the voicing, Jose. And notice that the first voicing is 3, 6, 9. That's a pretty simple. You have a nice, very palatable C major voicing. Now watch when I go here. Well, what in the world is that voicing? A13. I'm doing, from an A voicing, I'm doing the flat 7 of A. How do you find the flat 7? Go down a whole step from your root. That always gives you the flat 7. If you go down a half step, it's the major 7. All right? Awesome. All right, hey, great to see you. Thanks for jumping on, and I wish you a very happy new year as well. And please send me that audio recording, and please stay in touch, okay? I want to hear about these boys that you have and see what you guys have been doing. See if they're in the music or not. Okay, here we go. So, Yeah, I kind of force my kids to be in music. I'm just kidding. Well, kind of. They do it for fun, you know? All right, so here we go. We have 3, 6, 9, 5, major 7, 9. All right, now watch this. A7. Isn't that nice right there? Flat 7, 3, 13, 9, and 5. And then look at the top here. You have D minor 11. Now what's happening there? Flat 3 of D, flat 7, 9, 5. And then you have the root there snuck in there, and then you have the 11. Now, Jose, that's a very accessible thing. Yeah, you forced your kids as well. That's funny. All right, now watch this. D minor 11. T-Man, Vicky, and Jose. This right here, 2-5-1, the most common progression in jazz to this. This right here, guys, we have 8 people watching right now. Download that chart that has these voicings, and I want you guys to spend some time practicing this simple 2-5-1 right here. Imagine if you put this in different keys. And all we're doing is, let's go over the formula again, and then we'll wrap this lesson up. Flat 3, flat 7, 9, 5, root 11. The reason that note is the 11 and not the 4 is because there's my flat 7, and whenever you have the flat 7, you're adding notes on top. And now watch this. From a D minor 11 to a G13, change one note and change the bass if you want to do that. So that from a G chord is flat 7, 3, 13, 9, 5, and root. Like, I love the sound of that. Right? Isn't that a nice sound? So you have this right here. So let's put it all together. And what are we doing? 1, 6, 2, 5. 6 of that. D minor, G13. Okay, now I want to show you one little bonus voicing since I told you I was going to do that. And that is simply this. If I play, let's say, a B flat, and I do that right there, what am I doing? If I do C, 3, 6, 9, and I go up and do A fourth voicing, I have the 6, 9, 5. Let me do it again. 3, 6, 9, 6, 9, 5. Now, the first thing you'll notice is I have a couple of voicings doubled. The A and the D are doubled. But then on the top you have the 5th, and right there in the middle you have the 6th note, of course, and there's my 9, there's my 3rd. So I have the 3rd and the 5th surrounding that. So even though I'm doubling a couple of those, isn't that still a nice voicing right there? We talk about how a lot of our voicings, if they're really nice, they don't repeat any of the notes. And that is true. There's a lot of truth to that. But it doesn't hurt to sometimes repeat voicings. Like, this is a perfect example. I want a little simple, nice B-flat voicing. Maybe I want that sound. Maybe I want to take that 4th and go up and down and use it as an intro or an outro or something. So I go B-flat 9. Okay? So if I'm in C and I go 3, 6, 9, and then go up to the 6th note and do another 4th voicing. This is just 2 4th voicings put together. Okay, let's just review very quickly and then we'll wrap it up for today. I hope that you guys have enjoyed this open lesson. So here we go. We go 3, 6, 9, 5, 7, 9. And what you're going to do is you have a couple different options. You can sit on a voicing, just hang out on that C, and really get familiar with the sound and be thinking in your mind 3, 6, 9, 5, 7, 9. I can go up, down for my up, down approach, go to something that's not as comfortable, 3, 6, 9 of D flat, 5, 7, 9. Go back down to something comfortable, and then go down a half step. Now, we have 12 keys ultimately that we have to learn these things on. So even if we said, all right, I'm going to spend this week and only do C, D, C, and B, and get familiar with that, that's a pretty good way to practice, right? And you said, I'm going to spend the whole week doing that. And then maybe you say, all right, the next week you're going to do another 3 keys. Sometimes I like to practice like that. I like to practice certain ways where I'll say, all right, today I'm going to mostly practice in the key of C. And sometimes I'll say, all right, I'm only going to play the blues in C and then one other key, D flat. So just remember, there are fun ways to practice to keep it so you're not being overwhelmed with all the information. One of those is by sitting on a chord, getting familiar with it, and then the up-down approach. Now, for more experienced players, I went ahead and went around the cycle of fourths because it's not a bad idea to say, all right, I could play that, and then when I go around the cycle, I go C up to F. Well, 3, 6, 9, 5. Okay, there we go. And I go to B flat. Okay, there's that right there. So you're going around that. Vicky says, can I explain the A13? Sure, Vicky. So for A13, I'm using the flat 7 of the A scale. The formula is this. In our left hand, we're going to go flat 7, 3 of the A scale. A major has 3 sharps, F sharp, C sharp, and G sharp. And to find the major 7 of any chord, you go down a half step. To find the flat 7, you go down a whole step. So our chord formula is flat 7, 3 of the A major scale. And that's the 13, 9, and the 5. The reason I call that note the 13 and not the 6th note of the scale is because anytime you add the flat 7, which is down here, and then I'm adding notes on top of it, that would now be the 13. So it's actually like going A, B, C, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A, and then you're up here, you're getting up to the 13 again, okay? So it's not the 6, it's an octave up. So that's the 13 of A major. Okay, the next thing, so it's called rootless. It is a rootless voicing, yes. All of these voicings are rootless. The only thing I did on the first 3 is I added the bass just so you could hear the bass. So listen how nice it is for us is if we were to go through and play these voicings of just like spending time going up and down like that. That's not a bad little routine right there, and maybe we'll stop and go, all right, that's C, all right, that's B flat, that's pretty nice right there. That's D flat. Okay, let me go back. So you see kind of how I'm doing this so that I can get comfortable with that. All right, the next thing we did is we said you can add 3, 6, 9, and you go 5, 7, 9 with the G on top. Now we have 10 people watching, so I know a couple of people are coming in. Make sure you download the PDF that's in the chat. It's right up there, and let me scroll up. You'll scroll up, you'll see it says Google Drive. Just grab that PDF and have fun with that. All right, so the next thing is you can have, if you really want that big, full sound, it's just the G triad. So you have G triad, you have this G triad with the G on top for C major. And if you really want that big, full sound, it needs to cut through the band, why not put a G in second inversion? And you definitely have some doubles there. Double meaning doubled notes. Okay, the next thing we have now is we talk about the most common progression in jazz is 2, 5, 1, and we're doing a trio voicing. So the bass players, if the bass player is doing this, 2 and 3, 4, 2, 5, and 1, or 1, 6, 2, 5, and he goes 1, 6. We play our chord 2 and 5. Isn't that such a beautiful, nice way to play? I could go bop. And all I'm doing is 1, 6, 2, 5 of C major. So what a great thing to practice there. All right, so I want everybody to practice that and really spend time by going 3, 6, 9, 5, 7, 9. The next voicing for the A13, you go, all right, from an A major scale, that's flat 7, 3, 13, 9, and 5. So you get it on how to practice that. And then the bonus lesson or the bonus chord that we did is this idea of putting 2/4 together. And yes, you have some doubles, but it creates a really cool like a C 6/9 voicing. So you go a C9 voicing. So you go C E A D and you go another voicing on top. Let me see if I can show you guys something really quickly on my software here. Let me do this really quickly, and we're going to wrap it up here. It's been a really fun lesson, though. You guys have been a lot of fun. All right, I am going to put up another window really quick. Okay, when I played that last chord and I said C right here, I go C 3 6 9. See how it says C and then it says 6/9 up there? It's just showing you different possibilities just by playing this one note or this one chord. Right? If I played this, that's a E minor, but also if I do that, you see how it says C major 9 with a 13 now because I put the bass? Isn't that nice? Or what about this? You see how that's the A9 with a 13 on it? So it's all giving it context is when I put the bass with it. Let me go back to our window and we'll say goodbye. All right, so we have 7 people watching now. Make sure I guess everybody's downloaded this. Here's your opportunity. So I'm looking for the next person that wants to join our Chord Academy. If you want to even explore that, I would love to talk to you if you have questions. And if not, just go for it. There are 2 links. There's one link that gets you access to our Chord Academy, and then another link that gets you access to the all access part of iMusic Academy. A lot of people who start on Chord Academy end up switching, but at the same time, so they can get both. But it's just a lot of fun. It's a wonderful group, and I would love to have the next right person. So what I mean by right person is has to feel right to you, but I would love to have you. So go practice, have fun. I hope you had a very Merry Christmas, and consider following those links or emailing me if you have any kind of questions. If you have any kind of questions about the PDF, I would love to talk to you and help you. And thank you. A shout out to all of our Chord Academy family and our iMusic Academy family. It's been an amazing year, and I'm really looking forward to 2025 and all the things that we've been working on and doing. And I hope you have a very awesome rest of your day. And I will see Chord Academy. I'll see iMusic Academy main group on Monday at 8 a.m. That's our normal time. And then Chord Academy on Tuesday at 8 a.m. And then on Thursday, we have another lesson for iMusic Academy. And then Chord Academy is also on next Friday. So have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video. Oh, you also have 30 seconds to say goodbye to each other if people are still around. I see we have 10 people. And if you've enjoyed this, make sure you like this video. Consider subscribing if you're not subscribed, but I'm thinking most of you are subscribed. But we would love to just, if you've been hanging out and you want to put your name in or just say hello in the chat, you have 30 seconds to do it. And I'm going to play these voicings in the meantime. Awesome. Oh, Mario, what's up? Hey, Mario, thank you for hanging out with us and for chiming in. Hugh, what's up? Hugh, good to see you. Hugh, you snuck in at the end today. Hugh is a member of both. Hugh is one of my all access people who is signed up to both just so he can double. Well, everybody gets to double dip, but just out of his generosity. Hugh, thank you for hanging out this morning. And Mario, good to see you. Everybody give Mario a shout out for hanging out. Awesome. Yeah, we're gonna do for anybody wanting to sign up, just know that we're gonna do a Chord Academy year in review, even though it's been 12 weeks. But we have so many different voicings that we've done, and we're gonna keep reviewing all these. Repetition is your friend, so just remember that. All right, so to Vicky, Fabrizio, Jose sneaking in there. Let's see. Vicky, Hugh sneaking in at the end, and Mario. Good to see you guys. All right, everyone. Have a great